Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand for your fan debate, your fan opinion. We are at Hotel Football right now and this is the exact setting we need because this video is when you're at the pub, when you're out with your mates, when you're having these real fan discussions, this is what we want it to be. So we asked you guys, the viewers, for your hottest takes, your opinions on Ruben Amorim, Manchester United, the players, and we are going to discuss them. So let's get straight into it.
What's the first one?
First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about Ruben Amorim. There was a lot on Ruben Amorim, I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of responses. And we have it in from Man United Celtic. It is not a quick fix for Manchester United right now. And if we start this agenda of sacking managers after 2 or 3 games of a season, there is no point, nothing will change. First and foremost, it's been 4 games, and I think people forget, and this is a big one for me, Mods, is there is a sample size of last season. Okay, it's under different circumstances. Okay, he didn't have a transfer window, but there is still a season where he led us to 15th and failed to win that trophy in the Europa League that people are going to look back on. Yeah.
I mean, look, in essence, I do agree with what they're trying to say. I think they're obviously trying to say, look, you give a manager time. You can't be too early to rush to big decisions because I think I saw recently it's going to cost us, what, 12 million?
12 million before his 1 year anniversary.
Before his 1 year anniversary, so that's in November, right? His 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
So
22nd of November is his first game in charge of Man United.
Yeah, so well, that's about 6 weeks away, something like that. So I think they are right in essence. You know, you do sack a manager too early. It is kind of a bit of a rush, and you are going to have to pay the penalty for that. However, this isn't his 3rd game or his 4th game. This is his 50th game now. He's been here for quite a while. He has had a bit of technically a summer transfer window and a winter transfer window, and he has had a pre-season. So it isn't a case of it's just 2-3 games like Ten Hag at Bayern Leverkusen. That was 2 games and he got fired. This is a little bit different, but I do understand the essence of what they're trying to say. Look, moving on, I've got another one here. So this one is about Ahmad and Mbeumo.
Okay.
So this from the Fountainhead says you can't start Mbeumo and Ahmad together. Both of them cut back to the same spaces. Ahmad has a bit of harsh, but he says Ahmad has a pathetic right foot and so is unable to put up a single cross and is too selfish now, trying to always cut back and make opponents' defence more compact. We need more crosses for Sesko.
Disagree, they can't work.
Okay, explain.
I'll explain why I disagree they can't work. The reason people are talking about the fact they can't work is based off a very, very small sample size, right?
Yeah.
I think it's probably maybe 2 games they've played there together and maybe not even a full 90 minutes. It might be 3 potentially. But they've not had enough time to gel together to work each other's spaces. So disagree it can't work. I actually think it can work. Reason being is I actually think both Mbeumo and Ahmad can use the right foot if necessarily. Even though we talk about using the right foot to cross, you don't always have to fall back onto that right foot. What Ahmad and Mbeumo are both really good at doing is turning their opponent inside out and getting onto their right side and getting onto that left foot in really good positions where you can still curl across in. They've done it multiple times before. I mean, we literally saw in the game against Burnley, Mbeumo put in a perfect ball to Ahmad, who was making the run, and he skied it.
What you said is correct. I think what the not super chat, the tweet was mentioning about how they do get in each other's positions. We've said it on one of the forums before that it does look like they're both trying to do the same thing, and I can understand that because they are the same, in essence, profile of a player. They're both touchline wingers who like to cut in, and they're both left-footed as well. So naturally, that is going to be their preferred kind of style of play. So I can understand that as well. But I also look at other teams that I've got. For example, I know this is an extreme example, but I look at Real Madrid and I look at like when. Remember when Mbappe first came and him and Vinny were kind of like in the same position? Even though one of them was playing striker, Mbappe was playing striker, they were both left wingers, so they're both kind of getting in each other's way. Eventually, they figured it out because they're smart players. And now, I mean, I'm not to say that they're not winning anything yet. Obviously, a lot together, but they look a lot cleaner together. They look a lot more polished, and the partnership more fluid. It's just about learning each other's game. And obviously, like I said, that's a bit of an extreme example, but I still think Mbeumo and Ahmad are smart enough players to understand each other's game and to be able to develop a style of play that can complement both the players. So
what I want to move on to now, which is a big one that I keep getting asked about by my friends and what we talk about a lot, and I'll include 2 together on this. So we have Ali T saying, I like Amorim, but agree with Beth. We need to go back to a back 4 and a midfield 3 just to gain some points. And then Shah United said Xavi Alonso dropped his 3-4-3, so why can't Amorim?
Can I go on this one?
Yes, fire away.
What I want to say on the formation thing is this might even be contradicting myself, but my problem isn't even 3-4-3. That actually isn't my problem. I'm not some like anti 3-4-3 kind of guy. Like that's not my problem. It's just my problem is the fact that if you're playing a formation and you can clearly see this isn't working at this point in the game, what is so difficult about changing it? That's my problem. And the thing is with 3-4-3, you mentioned it, or whoever said that mentioned it, Xabi Alonso's played this before. In fact, Real Madrid, obviously he came to Real Madrid, he tried to implement that 3-4-3 straight away. It didn't necessarily work instantly. He obviously realised the players that he's dealing with work a lot better in a 4-3-3 formation, so that's why he's obviously changed it. But if you actually watch Real Madrid play over 90 minutes, sometimes they change back to a 3-4-3. Sometimes they adapt during the game depending on who's on the pitch. Let's say Alvaro Fernandez on the pitch and he's got Trent on the pitch and they might have Tuchel in the midfield. He might drop in to make a three-man defence, and then Trent will go to right wing back, Fernandez will go to left wing back, and they'll just adapt during the game depending on how the game's going. So for me, it's not necessarily about I hate 3-4-3, it's never going to work in the Premier League, it will never work at the highest level. No, it's just about if you can see that something's not working, adapt, change during the game, or just change depending on who you're even playing against. If you know that you might need more midfielders, play with 3 midfielders. You know you might need less midfielders and more wide players because they might have weaker fullbacks. Play with more wide players and adapt and take advantage of that.
Oliver Glasner, Crystal Palace.
I've seen a lot of them, and a lot of tweets about Oliver Glasner.
Well,
so many.
This is what I wanted to say. Do Palace, player for player, have a better squad than us?
No, obviously not. I mean, it might have with Eze, but not anymore.
No one's saying Oliver Glasner just needs a believer. Oliver Glasner just needs a world-class midfielder for his system to work. No one's saying that. He's done an excellent job with Palace. They're hard to beat. They score goals. They beat Liverpool in the Cup. They are a solid unit and a very good team to watch.
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim's been here for 10 months now. He's had a full pre-season, so that's not an excuse anymore. Okay, yeah, we do need better quality players. We do need specialised players. I believe the wing-backs massively need investment. I do believe the midfield is weak. Yeah. But Glasner's setting up with Will Hughes and Adam Wharton in the midfield. Both good quality players. Adam Wharton, obviously, great potential. We even eyed him up at Man United. But you're telling me that Man United are much further off than that. You're telling me that Man United, their squad depth, you can't be getting more out of this team in that system. Is it the system? Is it the formation? Or is it just the manager not being able to get it through to the players of how to play it? All
right, so the next one that I've seen is from Tom Blaney. Says signing 210s was gross misconduct when we needed a goalkeeper and a midfielder. And I want to link this one into another one about Bruno Fernandes. And it says that this is from Abhishek. Says Ruben Amorim has to change Bruno Fernandes from that 8 position. It's costing him games. His job as well soon. Obviously, if he continues to do so. So I mean, I think there's a lot of conversation about Bruno Fernandes, where he should play, how can we get the best out of him. And there's a lot of people, I mean, we obviously know Ricky, Osman, they kind of think he shouldn't be in a team regardless. I feel like Bruno at his best is a game changer for United. And we do also have other players like Mbeumo, even Ahmad, potentially Cunha as well, that are game changers as well. But I feel like if we really want to get Bruno at his best, I agree with this. I feel like we need to put him at that 10 position rather than playing him in one of the 8s.
Where I think we went wrong in recruitment,
yeah,
and I'll take you through my little journey, right?
Go on.
If Bruno had gone to Saudi,
100 million,
then 210s were absolutely crucial to this team. I see Cunha as Bruno Fernandes' successor. Cunha, yeah. He's got the passion, he's got the bite, he's a creative, he's also got an excellent shot on him. Slightly different, of course, in the way that they play. But that's how I see it. Ruben Amorim, when he lines up with them 210s in his system, this is if we're playing Ruben Amorim's way, by the way. I think
210s, yeah.
I think they absolutely. I mean, they can play together as 210s as well. But I think in a 4-3-3, Cunha on the left, Bruno in behind the striker, and Mbeumo off the right, that would be fluid and perfect. But if we're moving forward with Ruben Amorim, we're sticking to his system. Bruno goes to Saudi. Cunha is Bruno's successor. You bring Mbeumo in for that right side 10, but we know Amorim likes to play with a winger on one side and a more creative midfielder type on the left side. Sometimes it can switch, but that's what he likes to do. He's played Bruno with Garnacho there, he's played Mount with Mbeumo there, he's played Cunha with Mbeumo there. That's why I was very shocked when he played Ahmad and Mbeumo there against City and it was imbalanced and it didn't work. Right? So you've got a situation where Bruno Fernandes doesn't work in the midfield. He doesn't.
No,
One of our best creators, one of the best midfielders that has been in the Premier League for the last 5-6 years. I truly believe that. I think he's an exceptional player.
He is, 100%.
But and I think he's getting so much disrespect recently. He's not putting himself in that pivot. He's not doing that. And I think Amorim's system's got a lot of flaws, but having him in that deep role is a big one, right?
Yeah.
So you can't bench your captain and your best player, but you've just brought in Cunha and Mbeumo. So if you look at it that way, yeah, you know, potentially getting 2 10s was a mistake when you desperately needed a midfielder and you needed a goalkeeper. But where I put a little bit of blame on Ruben Amorim, despite the fact he wanted Belabor, is his plan was to convert Bruno to the midfield. So you didn't get a midfielder because you pressed for Bruno to stay, to keep him as a midfielder. So therefore, we went out and bought you 2 10s because you needed 2 10s because Bruno was coming into the midfield. If you would have said, I'm keeping Bruno in the 10 and bringing in Mbeumo, we probably would have never signed Cunha, which, okay, would be gutting, but we would have spent that money on a midfielder.
Someone who we
which
needed,
therefore it would have been more balanced. We all love Mateus Cunha.
Yeah.
We all do.
Player.
Absolute top player. And you know what? If Bruno moves on next year, people might be like, thank God we signed Cunha because, you know, now it's the balance. And even this season when he gets back fit, I rate him so highly. I'm glad we signed him. But 1 or 2 things should have happened. You either let Bruno go and you bring Cunha in, or you keep Højlund and you don't spend 70 million on Sesko and you go and get Cunha as well, and you have a more fluid front three. I've got a hot take. Do you want to hear my hot take?
Go on.
I think Amorim didn't play Bruno in the 10 against City because he's afraid if it really worked, everyone would be pushing for that for the rest of the season. I think and I'm not saying he didn't want to win against City, but he wanted to win his way, that he's basically, you know, put himself on the line saying Bruno's a midfielder.
It's very stubborn if he did that.
If he would have gone to a 10 and it would have worked, how many questions would he have got saying, well, look, it worked against City, one of the best teams in the league. And even further on this, I think where Ruben Amorim currently is really struggling is he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? He has encouraged to buy 2 10s that I think are brilliant, by the way, both of them, that are 65 mil a piece.
Yeah.
Yet to get them both in the team, he's got to play his captain and the best player at United in a position where it's not working and actually crippling the team. So it's like, what do? Do I drop one of my 65 million signings that I was pushing for, which the fans are really excited about, or do I drop my captain, the player that everybody loves, everyone looks up to, and has been United's best player for the past, or ever since he's been here? So it's a real tough decision for him to make, like you said. Well, Maud, there was a lot to get through there.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of people sent their hot takes in, and it was really great to discuss them because, you know, there's a lot to say right now.
Yeah.
At Hotel Football, Matchday Vibes, fan debate, we want to hear what you guys have to say. And if you enjoyed it, smash a like on the video, comment down below, do you agree with me and Maud? Do you not? We'd love to hear your opinion. We want to make this a weekly series, so please get your thoughts in. And also, what else should they do?
They should leave a comment. Let us know all of your hot takes in the comments, and also hashtag TUSMUFC on Twitter, and we're going to make sure to bring in your hot takes for our next video.
Yeah, your hot take could be featured. So the last thing to do, everyone, is smash a like, comment, and we will see you on the next one.